I'm Jacqueline Claudia, co-founder and CEO of LoveTheWild. I grew up around fish, but I never actually ate the fish. My family just didn't eat fish, except for Fridays and Lent, and that was some of the most traumatizing experiences of my childhood. And apparently, I'm not alone. Americans eat less fish than anyone in any other country. Our doctors tell us to eat more fish. Sustainability experts tell us to eat more fish. We get it, we should eat more fish. But why don't we cook fish at home? Basically, to most consumers, frozen fish is gross and fresh fish is hard. I didn't know how to cook it. I walk up to that fresh fish case thinking about seafood fraud, Fukushima, sea turtles stuck in nets, drop $40 on some halibut, hope that I bought the right fish and that I don't screw it up when I get home. I thought to myself, if sustainable fish was easy to find, super easy to cook, and tasted awesome, I'd do it more often, and I bet other folks might too. That's how LoveTheWild was born. We make it easy to cook delicious and sustainable fish at home anytime you want it, freezer to plate in about a half an hour. Millennials want to cook good food. They don't want to microwave a pouch, but they just need a little help and inspiration. Today's frozen seafood case is full of highly processed products made of commodity fish from questionable sources, and the branding sucks. We quant tested our proposition with Mindsight and got purchase intent and uniqueness scores so high they'd only seen them like that 4 times in their 16-year history. So let's get cooking. Our box, which you buy in the grocery store freezer case, pairs individually flash frozen fillets of sustainable fish from people that I know are doing things right, with bold, clean ingredient list sauces in foodie-forward flavors like barramundi with mango sriracha chutney. No thawing, you cook this straight from frozen in 3 easy steps, just like baking a cake from a cake mix. And this works. This is saucy fish from Grimsby, UK, and they are absolutely killing it over there. They went from 0 to 265 million in sales in under 4 years. And they've proven that customers buy the convenience value proposition and will pay for a cool brand. They're on the top 10 coolest brands list in the UK. Literally, it goes Aston Martin, Apple, saucy fish. Today's market opportunity is big. Seafood for home consumption is about 30 billion in sales. But there's a big opportunity to add new mouths to this category. We've been on this shelf for a year, and our in-market results are fantastic, and that's exactly what we see happening. But there's another reason we're doing this. We need to feed our growing population responsibly. We just don't have the fresh water or land available to grow animal protein the way we do today. Fish, and specifically responsible aquaculture, aka fish farming, is the answer. Aquaculture, when done right, is incredibly clean, resource efficient, and scalable. From a manufacturer's perspective, it's a dream. It's consistent supply, of consistent size, of consistent quality, at a consistent price. Now, for consumers, sustainable seafood is a confusing space. What consumers really want to know is where their food comes from, and that it's free from toxins. Aquaculture can do that. There is nothing more traceable than knowing exactly where your food has been and what it's eaten its entire life. Additionally, it's gentler on the planet than farming beef or poultry. To take on this important mission, we've assembled a team of experts. My background's in corporate strategy and fish farming. My partner, Christy, is a startup vet and a food snob. Jess is a Unilever global brand manager. Bo scaled food production from 0 to 5 million. And we're backed up by some fantastic advisors, like Phil Anson, who built and exited Evol Burritos, Sean and Derek, who lead 2 of the most respected and fastest growing seafood distributors in the country, and Greg, who built and turned brands like Suja, Epic, and Kashi. We have our own semi-automatic manufacturing process facilities located with Seattle Fish. We have supply agreements with some of the world's best producers, and we're ready to scale. We're on the shelf, we're selling well, we get fantastic, rabid customer feedback. We're adding new stores every month, and we're even getting paid. This is a huge opportunity to build an exciting and trusted seafood brand and shake up a category that's been frozen for far too long. If you like what you hear here and want to get your fish on, come talk to us.
What I've heard about fish farming is that it's what the fish are actually eating isn't always that great. So they're being fed grain or other things that fish aren't supposed to eat. So what is your farmed fish eating?
That's a fantastic question, and it's true. Farming fish is just like farming anything else out there. There are operators on this end of the spectrum that are doing things that you want to eat if your life depended on it, but there's also the poly-face farms version of fish farms out there, and those are the people that we support. And they're pioneering novel diets that are using novel proteins like fermented algae to replace the fish oil that is part of aquaculture's history. There is some grain in there, but you end up with a nutritionally equivalent fish to what you would see in a wild fish in a much gentler way on the planet. Some fish farms and fish feed formulations also use avian byproducts, which is somewhat controversial, but having grown up around water, I can tell you for a fact that if a duck swims across the pond with baby ducklings, those bass will suck those ducklings off the top just like candy. So fish eat poultry.
Could you tell us a little bit about, you've been in the market for a year, how many doors you're in and some level of sales?
I'm sorry, what was our...
How many doors you're in today, a year out from launch, and revenue?
Great. So we spent the last year in 2 stores on purpose. We've kept our distribution small because we wanted to do this Guy Kawasaki style and test and learn. So we were digitally printing boxes, spending $6.80 on the cardboard, and then we put fish in it, and then we retailed it for $10. So we lost money on each one. But through this, we were able to test promotional strategies, flavor profiles, cooking instructions, and we have it nailed, and we're ready to scale. So starting on March 15th, we're shipping into a chain of 19 stores, and we're adding stores rapidly after that. And by the end of the year, we should be at several hundred.
What about variety? Like, how many different type of fish can one farm produce? If I'm gonna buy from you guys like once a week, is it gonna be the same type of fish, or am I gonna have like something exciting every week to eat?
That's fantastic. Great question. Thank you. We have 6 species of fish in our lineup. I, coming from an aquaculture background, believe that you can only do one thing well. So we work with 6 different suppliers for our 6 different species of fish. And that way we can bring in new species and kill new species without having to take on that risk ourselves as a company.
Hi. Firstly, excuse me, the differentiation that you talked about in terms of how it creates value, what is your strategy for scalability as well as some kind of value addition as you go to the product mix, so you keep upgrading your portfolio and keep some kind of competitive insulation?
Yeah, so I think you had a lot of questions baked in there, if I'm understanding correctly. It's a little hard in the light. We have a strong pipeline of products behind the 6 SKUs that we're launching with, and we intend to be inhumane when it comes to killing things that aren't performing and replacing them with products that are performing well, and to keep the lineup fresh. In terms of our company growth strategy, we're building a seafood brand. We don't say fish in our name because we think it can be extensible into other sustainable categories down the road. And I would also see us adding other value-added products additionally to the fish kit, like a single-serve meal.
Quick follow-up, sorry. In terms of value-added, I was also thinking about, are you going to do something more to the raw fish to make it more like a, I don't know, fast food type, or you have plans to sell it to some food service institutional sale just for scaling purposes?
No, I'm not interested in doing food service for scale. I may do it in some branded places as a way to get folks exposure to our product. With a frozen product, demoing is extremely effective. We see lifts of about 30x in our sales when we demo, but we just simply can't demo in every store in the country. So food service, as long as it's branded, might be an opportunity for us to do that.